Hello again. Tonight we're in the Piedmont region with the Barbaresco, and this is a 2008 Produttori de Barbaresco Rio Sordo Riserva. Produttori di Barbaresco is a cooperative that now includes 50 families and 250 acres of vineyards. It was started in the first incarnation by one of the pioneers of the Piedmont area in Barbaresco at the beginning of the 20th century by Mr. Cavazza. And at the beginning, it was a very small group, like a handful of families making wine together to reach some scale. It was shut down during the fascist rule when there's all these economic rules about what you could and couldn't do. And it was reopened again after the war. Starting with 14 families, I think, and then 19, then now they're up to 50. They built their own winery, which is what you see, not on this wine bottle, but on the regular Barbaresco with the label. You see the picture of the square where the winery is. And they've made incredible wine as a cooperative for the longest time. Different owners own different vineyards and they come together and they make the wine. In the very good year, they make also Riserva wines. There's 10 Riserva wines. This is one of them, Rio Sordo, which is basically a site-specific wine. So it's a single vineyard wine. Sometimes some of these vineyards are owned by one or two families and not necessarily by all the same families. So this is the Rio Sordo from 2008. Which was a very good year. I mean, these wines are supposed to age, 20, 30 years. So maybe we're cheating a little bit. I just opened it because I'm taking it out to dinner. So I don't know if I gave it enough time, but you and we're going to find out together. On the color, it's sort of one of that Barbaresco, typical colors, which is, on the light side, and it's got a tinge of brown in it, in the red. And it's not just the age. It seems to me that most Barbarescos are like this. It seems pretty alcoholic on the legs of the glass. Let's see, it's 14.5% alcohol, so it's pretty alcoholic. The site is sort of limestone and sandy, so it's got its own characteristics. On the nose, you definitely get the alcohol, but you get some different kinds of fruit. I mean, to me, it's in the family of like prunes or figs or dried fruit. Some of that sort of, I don't want to use that word again, but sort of leathery fruit, I would say, more on the dry side. Even if it's prune or plum or fig, more on the dried, like the kind you can buy in a bag, for a snack. But it's still very closed, really not opened up yet. And that's a little bit unfair to the wine. Maybe if we have some more to say after dinner, we'll come back and add to the video. But it's really still very close, which is incredible for 2008. And I think it's going to open up beautifully during dinner. But I can see already that these fruit components, which is, again, predominant even after 13 years, are very much there. Man, this is just so persistent in the mouth, in the front. Really, I mean, you got the fruit, very strong chocolatey taste, and then you've got this tannic envelope that stays there. It's really very nice because it sort of brings it together, but it really hits you. I mean, it coats your mouth. The finish is more on the fruit side. So you're still developing the primary flavors. And this thing, I had a couple other bottles. I think I'm not going to touch them for another, maybe, 5 or 10 years. But this is just very, very special from that point of view, that it has these aromas that typically the Barbarescos I've had so far maybe were a lot younger. And they were very pleasant, very direct, but they were kind of made to be had younger. This is something that is really using the time it's been given. Let's just take another sip. A little bit of marzipan even on the tongue. but then it dries up very quickly. It's still got that tannins that don't let it, again, that keep it in check. But the downside of that sometimes is it just doesn't let it express itself as fully. And I think this is what's going to happen with more air and more time in the glass. So it's going to be an exciting journey tonight. Hopefully, I'll be able to tell you more later on. But this is quite special. Cheers. Hello again for a very quick sort of final word on the bottle from last night, the Barbaresco, Rio Sordo. We did take it out to dinner. There's nothing left. It was finished over dinner. And it was decanted and it was open for a while. And really, you know, the amazing thing about it is it was still pretty closed. So it is a bottle that is going to need more time to really open up. Either you have to open it in the morning and decant it and just say, you know, damn the torpedoes, let's just leave it out there. And then I think it's going to be really beautiful after a few hours in the decanter. Or you can still enjoy it as is. It was very good. It was direct. It was just the sort of, as we discussed yesterday, it was reserved, but had sort of the whole package. It was just kind of a little harder to get all the pieces. It wasn't as extroverted, wasn't as expressive. And I think this is something that will change over time. Just wanted to say that word again. We really enjoyed it. A very, very high quality wine. It's, even though, you know, it's 2008, apparently it's not old enough. So something to keep in mind when we're looking for wines to open or to cellar and keep for a special occasion. Anyway, cheers again, and see you soon.